Hey everybody, welcome to Muse Tutorials. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to paint a simple sunshine. I'm going to go over my materials just very quickly and then we're going to hop right into it. So I have my 8x10 canvas panel, although you can work with any paper canvas size that you'd like. I have 4 colors that I'm just working with today. I have my primary colors, which are yellow, blue, and red, and then also some white paint. I have a cup for some water, which are where my brushes will be. Wake them back up. Now you don't have to have all these brushes. I recommend you have at least just 3. One large flat brush, one skinny pointy brush, and then some type of medium brush in between. Some paper towels to dry off the brushes once you take them out of your can. And then grab some paper plates or some cardboard, something to mix up all of your paint on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Today's painting is super pretty. I love it. It is just going to be this beautiful sunshine with some clouds and some birds, and it's very easy, great for beginners. We're going to start off by figuring out our background color first. So we have this lovely pink. It's just a little bit of a salmony pink, meaning that it just has a little bit of a orangey hue to it. I want you to grab a big square brush, which is the biggest brush you have. And I want you to grab a nice big scoop of white, a little scoop of red, and a little scoop of yellow. And we're going to mix those up in a small section, making sure not to push the paint too far. We have a color kind of like this, a salmon pink. You want it to be mixed up enough that you don't have any random streaks of color throughout it. It should be one solid color. From there, we are going to figure out where our sun is going to be placed. So if we think about the circle just being right in the middle of our canvas, what I want us to do, find the center of your canvas over on the left side, maybe like an inch or 2 away from the edge. From there, you're going to draw a nice rainbow to the other side. You can bring that line to the edges and then paint everything above it. So we drew a nice rainbow right through the middle and paint everything above it. Now be careful, if you are painting on top of your table, you might want to put something underneath of it, maybe some paper towels, some cardboard, some newspaper, if you still get the newspapers. Perfect. All right, next step, we are going to fill in our sun. So our sun is not just going to be straight yellow, we're going to add 2 colors to it to make it more of like a sunset yellow. Still going to use that big square brush, just making sure I clean it off. And for this, I'm going to grab a little scoop of white, tiny touch of red, and a big heaping scoop of your yellow. It's going to verge on being orange. A nice orangey yellow color here. All right, this is a very pretty color. Makes me want like a Cubie's orange or tangerine, something like that. Now we're going to be filling in this semicircle right here with this color. You want to be careful as you go around the edges. You don't want it to blend too much with your pink. And then I'm going to be painting below that semicircle just a little bit. And it can be messy. It doesn't need to be a perfect circle. All right, looking good. Now we need to take a dry break. If we put anything on top of these colors, they'll get pretty muddy, and we don't want that. So let your painting dry for about 10 to 15 minutes on its own, or you guys can use a blow dryer to dry it a lot quicker.
A few moments later.
All right, we are back and our painting is nice and dry. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our next step, which are going to be the cloud formations. I'm gonna want a nice medium-sized brush. If you have a paintbrush that's more round at the end, that will be perfect for this, but if it's more squared off, that's okay too. We're gonna be using just white paint, getting some on my brush. All right, so I'm gonna start with all these lumps and bumps going across my canvas. I want them to be very, very big over here on the edges, big rainbow shapes. And then as I work down, they're gonna get a little bit smaller. Go down further, you could even bring it back up some. And do another big one. Just a bunch of lumps and bumps. I'm going to fill in everything below that. And if you can see through that white paint, that is okay. You can always put a second layer of white paint once it's dry. We're getting some fluffy clouds. You can even add a cloud or two higher up in your sky if you want to. So I'm just going to put a couple bumps, bump, bump. And then I want it to come to a point, like that. And the bottom of your cloud is going to be nice and flat. Fill that one in. All right, next we are going to let that dry for a minute while we do the rays of sun that shoot out into our sky. I'm going to be using a pointy brush for this, and also going back to that same orangey sunset yellow color that we made before. You need to mix up more. It's going to be a tiny scoop of white, a little bit of red, and a big scoop of yellow. From there, we're just going to start on our sun and bring the lines straight out from there. It's really up to you how many of these lines you want to put in. You can put a lot of rays, you can put just a few. All right, looking great. Next, we are going to be adding the birds. I'm going to be using a tiny little pointy brush. Oops, I almost forgot. We do need some black paint for our birds. Let me go grab that. All right, just need the smallest amount of black paint on a very small pointy brush. Now you want to think of these birds as the letter V's. So I'll show you our largest one here. You're going to make a V. And then if you want to make the wings a little bit longer, you kind of just bring them straight out from there. I want to make some that are a little bit smaller back here. Now you can add as many or as few of these birds as you like. You can create an entire flock of birds. Next up, we're going to be adding another layer of white into our clowns, just to make sure we don't see any colors that are seeping through. We want it to be just flat white. Now I let my white paint dry a little bit before we do this last and final step, which is the super light blue line that helps to define our clouds. I'm going to be using a pointy brush, and we're going to be mixing up a light blue with a scoop of white paint and a tiny touch of blue, mixing those up. I want it to be really, really pale. Nice sky blue, baby blue, something like that. Now I'm going to start with the cloud that is all the way in the front, which is the one that's over here on my right side. So I'm going to start on the right, go along that large bump, and from there I'm just going to add a couple bumps going down, across. You can get playful with it. All the bumps don't have to be the same size. Then I'm going to start with the next cloud that's right behind it. So there's a bump that is right in here. Kind of covers this back cloud here. Following the bumps that we created earlier. And then we're going to trace this back cloud. Now feel free to add anything that you want to this painting. You can add more birds, you can add more clouds, more colors, maybe even like a rainbow or some flowers. It's really up to you. But of course, the last and final step to any painting is going to be, that's right, you have to sign your name. Most people like to sign their name in the bottom corner of their painting, but you can sign it wherever you wish, wherever suits you. You put your initials, your full name, maybe even put the date so you can remember when you painted this. Your future self may thank you. That is all for my instruction on creating this simple sunshine. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we would love to see how your paintings turned out. You can put them down in the comments below or post them on social media and tag us at Muse Paint Bar. If you want to see more tutorials from us, make sure you like and subscribe from our channel, and we'll see you again next time.